So there's been lots of people that have moved into the UK for the past 2 years as a support worker, a carer, and in this video I'm going to be discussing, is this role actually worth it, and is it satisfying? Is it worth giving up your home country to move into the UK to work as one? Let's find out. Hello and welcome back again to this channel. My name is Moyelua, and if you're new to this channel, please don't forget to click on the subscribe button down below. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much. As the year is going to an end and people are setting goals for 2024, people are looking forward to what they want to do in 2024. One of the things I believe that we should do as individuals is to look into our life, especially our work life, because work takes a major part of our week. If you're working full-time in a week, you'll be spending at least 30-something hours of your week at your workplace. So work is something that it should be something that you enjoy and something that you really are looking forward to every single day. That is my own idea about work. So as a support worker myself, I've worked as a support worker for the past 1 year now, and I just want to discuss in this video, is support role really a satisfying role? Is it something that you could spend the rest of your life doing? So my story is that I came into the UK as a missionary. I started by doing a discipleship training school. If you haven't seen my video where I talked about my life as a missionary, I'm going to put the link up in this video because this video is not about that. So I'm just going to do a brief talk about that. So when my mission work was getting to an end, I switched to this visa. It wasn't a plan for me to switch to a support work role visa when I was coming into the country. It wasn't even a thing back then. So it was just like an opportunity for me to still stay back in this country for longer. So one of the reasons why I actually considered to take up this role is that growing up I wanted to be a medical doctor, but I ended up being an agricultural scientist. And at the end of the day, I didn't love agricultural science. The reason why I joyfully chose to be a support worker is that, okay, maybe this role is going to actually expose me to caring for people and being in relationship with service users, or let's say patients and all. So I can actually see if I really have the heart for a health care. So if it's something that if I fall in love with, I can maybe get more certification and be a nurse or be whatever I want to be. There's so many fields in the health sector. So I just wanted to explore, have more experience to see if it's something that I really want to do. And at the end of the day, I can maybe major on that and further my education and all of that. So that was one of the reasons why I took up this role. So just looking back now, I'm kind of reflecting, if let's say that I want to be a support worker for the rest of my life, would I have spent 5 years of my life studying agriculture or having a BSc to come and do a support work role? As a support worker, you actually don't need a BSc to be a support worker. In fact, straight out of college, straight out of high school, you can be a support worker. So having a BSc and being a support worker is not really the goal. So they were doing statistics recently about the number of people that have moved into the UK for the past 2 years now, and the highest number of population of people that moved into the UK is Indians and Nigerians. And most of these Indians and Nigerians are not just a high school certificates holder. Most of them have come into the UK to study actually, and some have even MSc, a master's, and they ended up working as a support worker. In fact, I heard of a lady recently. She's a lawyer. She studied law in Nigeria and she's here as a support worker. So I'm just reflecting. So if she had spent 5 years in law school, in law university, and a year in law school to be a lawyer, and then she ended up coming in as a support worker, if she wanted to be a support worker, why would she have spent that amount of her life studying law if she wouldn't do it in the first place? And I ended up concluding that, okay, most of us find ourselves working as a support worker not because we planned our life to be a support worker in the first place. Some of us has come to work as a support worker because we've seen it as an opportunity to come into the country to actually work for people that have children, for their children to have better education and all of that. I know people have different stories, and personally I've seen a lot of stories. In fact, I saw a lady on YouTube. She has a mansion in Nigeria. The place she was living in Nigeria, she can't can't even find a house like that in the United Kingdom, and she ended up coming into the UK as a support worker. So I was just asking myself, if this lady could have such a big life, like she's living comfortably, what would make someone like that to leave all of that behind to come to the UK and work as a support worker? So like I said earlier, this video is just like I'm just pouring out my heart and just like, let's talk about these things. Let's go down to the comment section, let's talk about our stories and all of that, and really see like, why would people like leave all of that behind? One of the reasons why I believe that people could go that length if they have like everything they ever wish for and still come to these countries, because yeah, like for example, countries like Nigeria, it doesn't really matter if you have money or you are living a comfortable life. The environment in which you are living is not just, sometimes it's not just right for you, because you can maybe have your money and make your home comfortable, but what about the roads? There's no good roads, there's no security. Like all of those factors are some of the reasons why people left their country. Coming to a country like this, like you have your life ambitions, you have your life goals. So this video is not about saying that support work role is not a good role, but I'm just saying, if we have invested some times of our life into some other things like having a BSc or having an MSc, and then we ended up finding ourselves as a support worker that maybe you don't actually need any serious qualification to be. So is it really satisfying? So there is this other story of a lady that I heard that she came to the UK, and so she actually came because her husband is already a citizen. So one of her friends introduced her to working in a care home, and they were kind of introducing her that, okay, this role that you are going to be working, you'll be exposed to meeting incontinent needs and all of that. Will you be able to do it and all of that? And then she said the first time she did this role, she couldn't eat for a week, and every time she tried to eat and she remembers the kind of things that she has done that she couldn't eat. So this role, it's not like it's not a bad role or something. It's something that, yeah, this role could be humbling. Yeah, this role could be humbling. That's one of the things that I've seen. Like, you know, some of us that, like I said, that have like a BSc or MSc, working as a support worker, it will humble you. That is the truth. This role will humble you, because let's say like myself, I've spent 5 years in school, like 5 good years studying agriculture, and then there is someone that's like use that same 5 years to study, let's say, nursing or something, and because you have crossed your line to move into a health worker line, you will be like under that person, like working under that person. That person will definitely be your senior, and it's not like there's something wrong with that person being your senior, but it's not just about like that person being your senior. Definitely that person will be earning more than you. That person will be respected in that role more than you. And you, even though you, like I said earlier, there is someone that is a lawyer working in this role, because you're working in that sector, you have to like serve that person in a way. So this role is humbling. It's very humbling. So regardless of whatever degree that you have, as far as it's not nursing or a healthcare related role, so this role is humbling and it's demanding. It's a demanding role. It demands your physical strength. Sometimes it demands your emotional strength. So there are two major things I want to discuss before I end this video. Number one thing is, how are you using your time as a support worker? If you manage your time well, you can find time to do some online courses. You can find time to maybe register in a school and maybe even further your studies to become a nurse or to become a doctor or to become whatever you want to be. So I want to encourage you to find time to improve on yourself. Then the second important thing I want to talk about before I end up this video is that enjoy the moment. Some days can be difficult, some days can be demanding, some days can be stressful, some days you might feel like, why have I even found myself in such a role like this? I just want to encourage you to enjoy the moment in a way that sometimes we can't control some things that happen around us, but we can control our response to the things that happens around us. I was chatting with someone recently that told me she was having a bad day, and she was telling me all the things that has been happening in her day that is making her day going horribly. And one thing that I just felt the Holy Spirit minister to me is that that person's attitude towards those things that are happening to her is what is even making her day even worse. because some people are really having a bad day, you know. I pray that we won't have a bad day. So some people that are going through loss and all of those like big things, I'm not saying that little things don't matter, but sometimes even the attitude that we respond, the way we respond to things actually make a thing better or worse. Yeah, so I just want to encourage you that if you are working as a support worker and it's not really going as you plan, it's not really going well for you, I want you to check the way you respond to things and actually adjust on that, so that the time or the little time you're going to use as a support worker, or the long time that you are going to use as a support worker, you actually enjoy it. Because the truth is that there's no job that is not challenging, there's no role that is not challenging. If as long as it is work, it's going to be challenging. Yeah, so and the good thing, like I said earlier, is for you to actually do what you really enjoy. So one of the reason why I'm making this video is to actually check that, is this role really what you want to do as a person? So if it is not, then find something that you love to do and invest sometimes in those things to improve on yourself. And if it is something that you love, also find time and improve on how you can climb up on the ladder of a health carer and become better and better. That is just my talk in this video. I hope this has been helpful for somebody and this has been value for your time. I hope to see you in my next video, and that is it for today. Bye bye.